Hey guys.
Hey YouTube.
So here it is. It's another beautiful day.
First day of summer.
First official day of summer. The summer solstice.
The longest day of the year, isn't it?
Longest day of the year. It's almost 9 p.m. and
So it's
we're going.
gonna start getting shorter again.
Yeah.
Haven't even set yet.
Look, a pack of 4 bunnies.
They're
four
looking
of
for
them.
the kale.
They're looking for our kale plants that they want to eat again. What do we think of the fully raw
Fully
diet?
raw. It is a good diet.
Sarah thinks it's a good diet. What do I think? We first learned about this diet
From Fully Raw Christina.
Fully Raw Christina probably about this time 2 years ago. And ever since I heard about it, I was pretty intrigued by it, actually.
It's very interesting.
I learned about her 10 years on raw veganism,
Mm-hmm.
and just how much of a health transformation she had.
Really did heal her.
And I was intrigued from the moment I heard it. She was actually the first vegan YouTuber we came across 2 years ago. When we first became vegan, we didn't know any vegan YouTubers. We were kind of on our own, and we did just fine. My opinion, there's nothing wrong with it. I'll tell you what, the number one thing I love about the fully raw diet is that there is no processed junk food on it.
Nope.
I mean, there is none. There's absolutely zero junk food, no high fructose corn syrup, no hydrogenated vegetable oils, no high fat
sugar.
animal products.
Sugar's not raw.
You know, I think I've seen raw sugar in it as an ingredient before. But anyways, most raw foodists are not going to cheat and be doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Even getting raw sugar. Like a raw foodist, I think you can cheat a little bit as a raw foodist if all you're eating is dates and nuts or something. But overall, a raw foodist is going to eat their fruits and vegetables.
Yeah.
I really love that it is a non-processed diet. There's zero junk food on it. Tell you what else I like about it is that you get your enzymes in. Now they say your body has a supply of enzymes to be able to use. Enzymes are used to digest food, and yes, the body does have digestive enzymes. From what I understand in the natural health community, we have limited supplies of it. Actually, doctors, I think Dr. Axe actually recommends taking digestive enzymes, if I'm not mistaken, with your meals, which is something we don't do yet. I want to look more into that. I know I'm getting obsessed with anti-aging now that we're getting older, and I've been doing some research lately on anti-aging. I've been watching Dr. Axe's videos. I've been watching Global Healing Center.
Enzymes in it.
Yes. So one thing Dr. Axe is recommending for anti-aging is to eat foods rich in enzymes, such as kiwis, such as figs, such as pineapple. Papaya. These are all foods that are very high in enzymes. Foods rich in enzymes will reduce the aging process. So
Yes.
I'm definitely getting to be obsessed with anti-aging. That's something I'm going to look and research more of.
And, well, we were going to get pineapples the other day on sale, and they were all out.
Completely out. They had them for $3.
Really sad.
But yeah, figs is something I'm obsessed with. That's like the top 10 favorite foods for me, for sure. So that's great.
I think it's the skin, he says, has
The enzymes?
the enzyme.
So lots of digestive enzymes. I guess supposedly foods rich in enzymes is good for anti-aging. Again, I'm researching more about that. I'm researching about the telomere shortening and all that other stuff. If you follow anti-aging, I could probably do a video.
Fasting is good for anti-aging too.
We could probably do a video on anti-aging in the future. That's something I'm just starting to now do a bunch of research on. I'm gonna start doing notes and all that good stuff. So enzymes is another benefit of it. The natural health community recommends taking digestive enzymes with your food fully raw. You know, you're not cooking the enzymes out of your food.
That's why, man, making juice. That's why I bought that juicer. I think that green juice is ultimately your best way to get that stuff in, because you can just
The enzymes?
Yeah, you can consume so much more in a sitting than, you know, when you sit down and eat some, you know, kale or whatever. If you drink a big old jar of dense greens. I mean, that's incredible. That's going, those enzymes.
All right. Favorite thing about it is there's just no process. There's just no junk food. I mean, you go to YouTube, anybody that follows a fully raw diet is not fat. There's 0 people that are fat. Now, typically raw foodists will be looking for natural ways of healing. For example, if you got some condition, disease or sickness, they're going to be looking up natural, holistic ways first, typically, a raw food. So it's just the kind of people that follow those kind of diets. That's just the kind of people they are usually. They're usually into that. They're usually just into health and all that. I mean, anybody that follows a fully raw diet is pretty much doing it for health reasons. So people that usually follow it will be very much into health, exercise, fitness, living a healthy lifestyle, being stress-free, being happy with life. That's a common pattern I see in raw foodists when I watch them. I think you see that too.
Generally, a raw food diet, you're eating a lot of fruit, I think.
Yeah, lots of fruit usually.
They drink a lot of juices too. They juice a lot.
Now, if you're gonna follow a raw diet, staples is a blender, preferably a Vitamix, and a dehydrator if you're gonna really get into it. Yeah, juicer, I would call it juicer third. Touched on enzymes, we talk about how it's anti-processed, how nobody that follows this diet is truly fat. Maybe they don't have the biggest 8-pack or 6-pack, or they got 4% body fat, but nobody that really follows this, that's been doing it for years, is actually really fat that follows it. Nobody that I've seen. Maybe somebody somewhere has, but if you show me somebody who's been on it for 3 years and they're fat, I would be beyond shocked. Another big one that I love about the fully raw diet is not cooking out nutrition. Now, this is really important.
It is.
I've read, supposedly, to get the same amount of iron your grandma would 80, 90, 100 years ago, supposedly you have to eat like 30 or 40 apples to get the same amount of iron that your grandma did.
I do believe that. Because our soil is just so depleted.
Oh, our soil's awful.
Frickin' Monsanto and all these, okay, organic. I know people say, oh, organic doesn't matter. It's not a big deal. Well, it does matter because our soils are being depleted rapidly.
Very.
Seriously. And they are just pounding the soil with these herbicides and these pesticides and these chemicals. And it's taking away our soil, it's taking away our groundwater, and it's destroying our planet.
We are actually almost as passionate about being organic as we are about veganism. It's just another whole, just like factory farming, pesticides, herbicides, it's just another corrupt industry. So our soil is being rapidly depleted. We don't have as much nutrition in the soil as we used to.
Nope.
And we certainly don't need to be having less than we already have. Vitamin C, for example, that is definitely cooked out of something, and that's,
oh yeah,
to me, that's one of the most important nutrients of them all.
And vitamin C, that's mainly found in fruit, and I don't know why you would want to cook fruit. Okay, vitamin C is found in an orange. Why are you gonna cook an orange? Who's gonna cook an orange?
Some foods are just not meant to be cooked. Oranges aren't.
Fruit. I mean,
any kind of berries
are
not. I mean,
who's gonna cook a banana?
A mango? Yeah, don't
just eat
stick
the
a
banana.
Mango. Don't stick a mango in the oven. Don't cook a kiwi.
No, you can dehydrate them, and they're not gonna lose their enzymes. That's why dehydrator is a pretty important thing, I think.
So you guys gotta, if you get a dehydrator, dehydrate bananas for 12 hours. Oh, it is so delicious.
I do it.
Cooking nutrition. Nutrition is important. People are already deficient in a lot of things, such as potassium, magnesium, B12, vitamin D, but that's primarily the sunshine vitamin, and other things people are just generally deficient in. We don't need to be losing more.
So when you do cook food, don't cook it for very long.
Well, that brings me to the next point. Broccoli. That's something that's actually beneficial to be cooked, believe it or not. Well, you've probably heard of the word sulforaphane. It's anti-cancer chemical that's in broccoli and other cruciferous vegetables. Mostly in broccoli is where it's most known and highest in. So if you eat raw broccoli, and raw broccoli really isn't that good, I don't
Unless you
think.
like puree it.
So raw broccoli, you're only getting 12% sulforaphane. Now if you cook it for 3 to 4 minutes,
Steam it.
steam it 3 to 4 minutes, now you're breaking down that protein that's inhibiting the sulforaphane from being absorbed. But if you go over 5 minutes, now you're breaking down, now you're cooking out the enzyme
Enzymes.
Marinase, I believe it's called. You're cooking out that enzyme, and now you're no longer getting the sulforaphane content.
And also, the broccoli, how you get the sulforaphane is by eating it.
Yeah.
So, like, the more you chew your broccoli, the more sulforaphane is going to be released, because that's how the that's how the reaction is made. When it's chewed, then it creates that.
Yeah. So broccoli is something you want to cook. If you want more sulforaphane,
Chew it.
chew it, steam it for 3 to 4 minutes. Don't go over 5. There was a university done out of the University of Illinois where the head of the Department of Nutrition and the PhD professor, she ended up researching that in a study. So that's that.
And that goes
Now,
for any food too. You wanna, if you're gonna cook it, I think steaming is the best. You get like a little steamer basket and you just steam it for like 3-4 minutes and it's fine.
now I do want to say though, another way, and probably the best way to get sulforaphane is broccoli sprouts. Something we haven't had yet, where we've failed miserably with sprouts. We've tried 2 or 3 times.
I think I'm gonna try the jar method where you soak them and then you turn it upside down and you grow them.
We
in
need to
the
do
jar.
something different. So you think,
Like
okay,
having a campfire.
so that can combat that whole steaming broccoli. You want raw broccoli, just do raw broccoli sprouts. You'll get your sulforaphane that way. I'll tell you what I really don't like about the diet. You're gonna drop a minimum of $75 a week. Yeah, you really are. We plan on doing a video in the future, fully raw on a budget. I want to try to get us under $50 per person a week. I don't know if that's honestly possible without severely limiting how much you eat. I would say, realistically, if you're going to go fully raw, per person it's going to cost anywhere from $90 to $130 a week a person. I mean, unless you're just living off bananas or something. Food just isn't cheap. Vegan food isn't cheap. Animal products aren't cheap. No food is cheap. The only stuff that's really cheap is things like beans, rice, lentils, potatoes. That's really the only stuff that's cheap. Best way to combat that, grow your own food. Something we're still learning. You're probably gonna drop a minimum of $75 a week.
Unless you live in a place where you can get local stuff.
Yeah, local stuff,
Hawaii,
a farmer's market. Maybe if you live in the
Southern
tropics.
California.
I also kind of dislike about it, it's like, all right, there's certain foods you just can't eat.
Beans,
You can't eat beans,
lentils, legumes.
lentils, legumes, even potatoes. Now, we have a video, we'll link that right up here. Raw, we got a raw hummus. But from what I've, you know, I read health articles all the time. Every day I do. And from what I've read now since then, you shouldn't actually be consuming beans raw. If you do that stuff, it should be soaked a minimum of 12 hours. Thoroughly cooked, thoroughly washed. You got the lecithins on them.
Those things are healthy for you too. I mean, beans.
Oh, absolutely, beans are.
Beans, they got protein, they got fiber, they got vitamins, they got minerals. I mean,
Absolutely, beans are phenomenal for you, and you can't really have them raw. I know you can sprout them, but from what I understand, you know, we sprout our garbanzo beans. We made a raw hummus. That took a couple days too. It took like 5 days to sprout them, so that's kind of a pain in the butt to do. And then second of all, I hear you really shouldn't be having them because of the lecithins. Now beans, yeah, they're great. We're gonna go over, this is the week of diets. We're gonna go over Dr. Joel Fuhrman's diet later this week. A diet we both highly approve of. And one of the things he really emphasizes having every single day is beans. And we're going to go over that, more details on that later this week.
We also have a video on how to cook beans from scratch.
I dislike that you can't really eat everything. Now, if you want to go for the fully raw diet, do it.
It's a great, and you know what? I think also if you have a health problem, I do think that it helps.
Definitely. Just, you know, if you have any kind of health problems, I think one of the best things you can do is just pack your body full of nutrition.
Man, juice.
I think that's
day.
one of the best things to do. Your disease, yes, inflammation is a big thing. Another big thing for disease is deficiency and toxicity. If you're deficient in something, you know, you need your nutrition. Nutrition is used for all kinds, your body processes and use it for all kinds of things.
And what has the most nutrition? Fruits and vegetables.
Absolutely. So if you want to do the fully raw diet, we don't oppose to it at all. I think it's a great diet. I don't really see anything.
There's nothing wrong with it.
Absolutely not.
I've done it before.
Yeah.
For a short time.
She did it for a short time. A video linked above of why she quit. I wish I knew some people that were fully raw. Anybody that follows a diet like that, it kind of intrigues me. Just living that kind of a lifestyle. It's just wanting to take care of their health like that. Anybody that lives like that intrigues me.
I think as long as you're following a cooked diet that's just no processed food, only whole foods, I think that's the best way.
Yeah. Now, is a raw diet better than a cooked diet?
There's various opinions on this.
Various opinions. I don't think it'll be that much superior if you're sticking with whole foods and you're not cooking things to death.
Yes, and your diet is still mostly raw with the addition of cooked foods.
I do think at least 50% of your diet, over 50% of your diet, should be raw.
I mean, what's a good way to get raw foods in?
Smoothies.
Salads. I mean, chop up a bunch of vegetables, put avocado in it, mix up some avocado or some tahini dressing. Make your stuff taste good.
Fortunately, there's really not studies done on the raw diet.
There really is not.
Like, you can't really find clinical studies done on it. So that's why a lot of people call it anti-science. Well, there's people that have a lot of great testimonies on it, and unfortunately, there just is no science on it yet. I think if there was to be science done on it, I think they would find a lot of great benefits in it. If you follow it, you're going to need to supplement with B12. Fortified foods
That's for any vegan.
Are not raw. Well, yeah, but I mean, a vegan can get fortified foods with B12. Raw diet, there really is no fortified foods.
Yeah, you can't get anything fortified.
So you have to supplement with B12 if you're going to follow it. Common sense just tells me it's not bad. You are not losing nutrition, as much nutrition. It's unprocessed. I mean, that's why diets, the standard American diet is so bad, is because it's all processed. The fully raw diet is not processed. One of my favorite raw foodists that we follow is Marcus Rothkranz. He makes a really excellent point. You go and you cook something, and then you bring it back outside and you plant it in the ground. What happens?
It won't grow.
It won't grow. And that's
a huge statement.
That's a really powerful point. Again, not really any science that means the food is bad because you cooked it, because you can't grow it now, but
it has no nutrition.
That's an excellent point to make, is that once it's been cooked, you can't grow it anymore. It's been altered, it's different, it's changed. And that's such a good point to make. I think we covered it all. I think to recap,
but I think something you gotta realize too with cooked food, just say, it's not like you're gonna get no nutrition from it.
Oh yeah.
Like, oh man, once I cook it, it's worthless. It's dead.
No.
I better not even eat that. I'll just throw it out. I think that people get that mindset. So
yeah, I don't think that happens. It loses everything.
It does lose something.
It does lose something. We need as much nutrition in our bodies as possible. Vitamin toxicity is rare, guys. That stuff's primarily happened from supplements. I don't really have to worry about vitamin toxicity for the most part. So let's just recap here because it's kind of a lot of information. I like that it's non-processed. You don't lose any nutrition. The enzymes
are still intact.
Enzymes are still intact. And your body only has a limited supply of enzymes, nutrition, non-processed. And I really don't like that it's expensive. And then, come on, there's just some foods you can't really do raw, and I think that's the biggest thing I dislike about it. That's the only real thing I dislike. It's like, all right, I don't want to be fully raw because some foods you just can't do fully raw.
Oatmeal. You can't have oatmeal.
Can't have oatmeal. Yeah, exactly. And
oatmeal's great for you.
Yeah. So one more thing I wanted to add. Typically, if you're a raw foodist, big thing you'll be eating is salads and smoothies. Tomorrow we will talk about what kind of diet do we follow. Do we follow an 80-10-10? Do we follow a starch solution? Keto diet?
Paleo,
higher fat diet or higher carb diet? What kind of diet do we follow? Stay tuned for tomorrow, and we will see you tomorrow, guys.